Every town should have a Punisher. The people that have intelligence, that have open minds, they will still have an open mind.
Fucking life. Not a black person without a life.
To me, I feel like it's a little bit of a slap in the face to this country.
GHI.
Do you know what that is? That's faggot. And Polish people all look the same.
This is true.
Welcome to the GHI podcast. I'm here with Hump Ass. I mean H. There he is. We started talking already about a few things, which it's going to be the focus of our podcast roundtable tonight. But yeah, here we go. So, we might as well get back right into that, and I'm going to do the report stuff in a little while. I had an encounter today with some homosexuals that didn't understand where I was coming from because they were kind of closed-minded. And the only thing they can look at it was hate. And I'm saying, children are children. Let children be children. A 9-year-old shouldn't be coming out of the closet. Even if there are a few that already know that's the path that they're going to go, a 9-year-old boy is not releasing sex hormones at the rate to make a sexual decision for the rest of their life. There's some kids that do swing that way, or you think they do, and then they turn out to be completely straight.
What does a kid know about gender when they're 9 years old? They're still playing Legos and Barbies and GHI Joes.
Exactly.
Pokemon.
I threw a baton when I was like 7.
Bakugan.
And the original argument I made, I was like, nobody cares what two adults do. But parents do care what you impress on their children.
Yeah, how you influence your children. The children should just leave them. You know what I mean?
Heterosexuals, except for sick people, which there are, but the general heterosexual does not press sexuality on children at all. And it's frowned upon wholesale. So for us to frown upon homosexuals doing the same thing is no different. It's not hateful. Children should be children. Okay? And especially a 9-year-old male, this was the whole buttocking thing. A 9-year-old male is not releasing enough hormone. Okay? They're obviously being a little bit more influenced. Kids at 6, 7 years old, you know how often you hear like, why can't I, Bobby goes, why can't I marry Billy? Or Jane goes, why can't I marry Mary? They're my best friend. I love them. Hey, they might turn out to be gay, but they're not asking because of a sexual idea.
They're asking because it's their friend.
It's their friend, and because they love their friend.
And they like to play together.
And they like to play together, and they really get along. And they don't understand the human dynamic of adults, that you can have friends that are very close like that you love, and they're like family. Doesn't mean you want to have a relationship with them, because that's not how they're thinking. And basically what these guys and ladies were thinking, well, if they feel that way, then they're like us. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know yet. Leave them alone.
Give them the chance to figure it out for themselves a little bit. Your job as a parent is to guide them.
But they're not parents.
But they're not guiding them. They are leading them.
They're trying to. And they don't realize that they're just being useful idiots. They're not intending to be destructive.
It's like the parents of those kids, they're striving so hard to be considered woke, in air quotes, that they will fuck up their own kids.
Yeah, I don't care. And I picked this battle to either win or die on, because I'm sorry, children. That's it. Look, I will protect a child's decision when they decide what they want to do. I don't think a child should be bullied. I will protect the child. I will not teach my child to look at anybody different, because it is natural. But don't tell me it's normal. Don't tell me 4 to 6% of the population, and that's the entire LGBTQ 596 whatever community. And at the most, it's 6%. It's probably closer to 4, right? Don't tell me it's normal, because 4% of 100% is not normal. It's an outlier. Doesn't make it wrong. Just because it's not normal doesn't make it wrong. And just because it's natural doesn't make it normal.
Is it that hard to understand that?
I don't think so.
Let it happen on its own if it's going to happen. And if it does, and if your kid turns out to be gay, lesbian, or
Support
whatever,
them.
Support them, but don't push them into it. And
don't make the decision. Don't judge like their behavior from 3 to 10, 11.
That's like saying I'm a data scientist, so I want my kid to be that. What the fuck? What do you mean? It's the same thing, right?
No. This is even more. This is more screwed up, because these aren't the parents. This is somebody says, "I like blue bow ties." This little boy likes blue bow ties too, and because he also likes his friend Tommy a little obsessively, he must be gay. But perhaps he just gets along with Tommy, and Tommy understands. Maybe him and Tommy will marry fucking twin girls because they're so much alike. You don't know. And you don't have kids. And you just don't understand that you got to let them be.
My question now is, of all these LGBTQ people that discuss stuff like this, how many of them are actual parents?
Not many.
You know what I mean? Of that 4 to 6%, because we don't know the exact statistics, there's different numbers, different places you look, right?
Sure.
What the exact numbers are. Of that let's say 4% of the population, how much of that 4% are actual parents?
Not many. And how many of them are good parents?
Yeah, because we have shitty parents that are heterosexuals as well. I'm sure you're telling me all gays are perfect parents.
Well, that was the other argument I was making. I was like, the fact that you're a homosexual doesn't mean you're a good.
Yeah.
And because if I say you're being an asshole and a piece of shit, and you happen to be gay, and how you're being an asshole and a piece of shit has to do with you being gay, doesn't mean I have something against gay people.
I know. I think it's become that, just like race. Like, you couldn't speak about Barack Obama without being labeled a racist or a bigot. Same thing with this. Like, dude, you're a person. I don't give a fuck what you are. If you're an asshole and you're a shitty person, you're a shitty person. What does it matter whether you're gay or not? You know what I mean?
Basically, all I'm saying is let kids be kids. Don't push them. Using a 9-year-old as a prop at a campaign event to come out it's borderline grooming.
It's child abuse.
I don't know if it is kind of child abuse because it's exploitation. I mean, this is the thing with the transgenderism. Don't give a friggin' child that hasn't created or released any sexual hormones. Don't alter their hormones. That's child abuse. Do you know what kind of damage that could do? We all understand the kind of damage if children take steroids, right? How many studies have been done? How many specials on HBO and after-school specials have been done that were accurate? But now you're going to just say, oh, well, yeah, we're going to forget that when it comes to putting estrogen into a kid because he happens to like to play with Barbies. Nobody mentions that he has Or sisters.
So so let me give you another example, not LGBTQ example. So let's say my kid decides that, you know what's cool? Let me rip heads off of GI Joes and blow them up. So now what? Since he likes to do that, you've already labeled him a criminal and a serial killer, because that's something most serial killers have. So if my kid decides to go and kill animals, right? What do I do?
Well, if he moves on from cutting heads off dolls to killing animals, that is a red flag. That's some serious stuff.
All right.
But how many kids blow up their GI Joes and are the best animal carers out there?
So in the same token, the kid that's playing with Barbies and likes to play with dresses and likes to color purple and pink and all girly stuff, does that mean he's going to be gay, or he's going to become trans?
Could be
into a woman. Could be not.
Well, he could also become a player when he's older.
Maybe.
I put in this argument. See, none of these people read this argument. They just saw me disagreeing with them.
Yeah.
And the argument, I said, you know what? There are jocks that become friggin' queer. There are little perfect girls, you know them, that they get the best grades, the kiss-ups. They grow up to put a strap-on. And there are girls or tomboys that turn out to be princess girls. And there are little sissy boys that start producing testosterone and become really manly.
That's why you just let nature take its course.
You let it take its course.
Support the kid, guide the kid, but don't exploit the kid.
The whole time before they start releasing sexual hormones, they are exploring humanity without the sex part.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's called the innocence. Stop taking away the innocence.
Maybe that's how a great artist is born. You know, maybe the kid's not gay, maybe he's not going to be transgender, maybe he just likes to explore different things, and maybe he'll grow up to be a heterosexual male artist.
Sure.
Because how many of those people do I know?
And you know what? He might be one of those heterosexual male artists that a lot of people like his art. A lot of women can be seduced by him.
Yeah.
And he has no issue with homosexuals, and he can be a lead character in making it safe for them in society.
Yeah.
But by doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to end up having a fucking crackhead.
A twisted child that might end up being a criminal
because he's told over and over that he's this when he's not.
Yeah.
Let children be children.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that argument. There's no hate in that argument. The hate comes from you don't understand that you're running interference for some very bad ideas. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm saying you don't understand the full scope of what you're saying. You know what I got? I got one gay guy saying, well, I knew I like when I was 7 years old, I had crushes on boys. Okay, but there's other 7-year-old boys that have the kind of crush that we talked about that are completely heterosexual because they're not thinking sexually.
Yeah, you can't. That's the same. That's the argument of like, oh, this is what I did, so this is what must be because this is what I experienced.
The one dude that was his post, he's like, you're just mad because you got schooled. So I'm like, you came onto my post assuming that I'm talking about you. When I said nothing to indicate you, which means you know that this is what you were doing. And then after that, you're saying that I got schooled, but every bit of refuting evidence was anecdotal by individuals in their own personal experience. And to be honest with you, they're remembering experiences, but they don't remember the sexuality about it. Or perhaps they're remembering it in that way because they become this now.
Yes.
They're not seeing it.
Yes, there's a term for that where your memories fade and then they adjust to what you currently think. Like they change over time.
And
you know?
The memories could be semi-true. It's just the emotional tangibleness changes.
See, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I don't know the exact term, but I remember reading about that not too long ago, actually.
This is all the argument of why you leave children alone.
Yes. Let them follow their own.
I know a little boy that everybody's like, oh my God, he's probably going to be gay. And you know what? He's a little engineer. He's a little real manly man. But he's around a lot of women, and he loves and respects them, and he still has those aspects in his life. That doesn't make him gay, because he's not sexually gay. He's just female responsive. Like, he understands it because he took time before the sexuality came in to understand that. Let people be who they are.
He'll become a well-rounded adult.
He's already becoming a very well-rounded young adult.
Those days we were talking about before. Those days, these people are arguing, making these arguments, these comments. Like, they make these comments, and it seems like they're so like scared and protective of like who they are, and like those days from the 70s and before, like, or 80s, you know, or the 90s when there was literal gay bashing going on, you know,
and lots of racism
and people,
ignorance,
people jumping out of cars and bashing gay people, like tearing up their clubs and with baseball bats, you know, firebombing those things.
And guys like me were fighting against that.
In New York City, you see whatever, you heard all these stories. You don't hear about stories like this anymore because people have society has grown, which is great.
Everybody knows now that it's a natural human thing.
Yeah, and it comes to basically nobody really cares what you do behind closed doors, what you do with your partner.
But everybody cares what you do around their children.
Yes, like I don't want basically gay LGBTQ gay and lesbian being taught to my 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid in school.
No, they want to teach blowjobs and anal sex and how that's acceptable sex.
Shit, we didn't learn that shit.
In sex ed class, you don't learn that. You don't learn that. You don't learn heterosexual.
Sex ed class. This is a female sex. This is the male sex. This is how
the most you learn about this is that semen and the egg meet, and it makes a baby, and that's more than sexual.
Leave it as a science class, not as a fucking propaganda.
It's enough propaganda in school. They fucking went after the colleges, and now they're trying to go after the grade school. Unacceptable.
I'm gonna fucking tell my kid out that shit. Fuck you.
Oh wait, so we did the round table first. I just want to show you guys a clip from the upcoming GHI animation movie. I'm really proud of this. This is Gaia's Revenge. Panguaiwu versus Godzilla. Or Zilla. Because, you know, we don't want to get sued.
Trademark infringement.
Yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys a couple scenes. I got a little dramatic here. Most of it is asinine humor, but then I throw this shit in here. I cut together individuals from a Chinese disaster movie. All the audio is from GHI. I think I need a cigarette, H.
Sounds good. Even though Murphy's taxing shit out, he's not. Add that to the list of shit being taxed in the fucking state.
I throw these little bits of like super dramatic, real movie kind of elements, and then it just goes to hell. This is the president's speech.
As I'm sure you're aware,
We love Trump here, most of us, not all of us. But I figured this is a great movie to make some fun at him, so I poke some fun.
entire world. This is very unfortunate. 2 monsters. Yes, I can't believe it. Some Panguaiwu.
What the hell's a Panguaiwu?
Oh, and Godzilla.
Never do that
These
shit.
creatures have destroyed 2
Teaching your
cities
kids gay
and
and
at least 3
lesbianism.
different divisions
You have a
killing
moment to
tens of
watch
thousands of
Lovecraft.
personnel and countless civilian life. I'm sure this account is accurate. You know, we have the best intelligence. The best.
Best.
Now that I've drained the swamp, huge
Mm-hmm.
improvement.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of little racist terms. The Asians are all saying racist shit against each other. The Americans are known as round eyes and monkeys,
Crisis is resolved.
orangutans.
South Korea and Japan are ready. They're always ready. We have great troops. The best.
I do this little thing where it's like a GHI channel, and underneath it's like right after the speech, every couple's favorite game show, Dick in a Box, and it's like right under Trump. It's so funny.
Nuclear weapons are not an option. That would be bad. Very bad. Very populated.
And it's like, you know, the little taglines underneath. President Trump, quote, monsters are tough.
To help bring these abominations down. They will do it. I know they are the best. No one is smarter than our people.
Stupid Americans
Our
always
thoughts and
think they're the
prayers are with
best.
the brave Chinese men and women preparing for and expecting another attack tonight. These damn things are nocturnal. Humanity will prevail. God bless America, and God bless the world.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of our animated feature. We're about 20 minutes in. We're going to get to the report. We're going to take a little break. Put a commercial on or some shit. Nobody's paying for any of this, so this is just our commercial for shit we like.
That's honest advertising.
What's the deal with that sheep? You know, in all your videos.
I don't know, man. I just like him. He's the most innocent looking sheep I think I've ever seen, you know?
Well, where did he go on vacation?
What?
Where did that sheep go on vacation?
I have no idea.
To the Bahamas.
You're the first group I've told that to. We could have a lot of fun with it. I think it would get very high ratings.
The amount of money that Rockefeller and Carnegie that they had, like accounted for, adjusted for inflation, they put folks like Bezos and the Koch brothers and Gates to shame.
Oh yeah, because I mean,
they amassed so much fucking money
until the monopolies were broken the first time, and so now the guys
We've come full circle. We got monopolies again.
we do, but they are playing the game a little bit differently to keep their monopolies going, and they're giving concessions in this part of their business to in this other part of their business in order to do so.
Yeah, like it's harder to define a monopoly now. Like you want to say Amazon's a monopoly, right, in the online world, but they're not. You know, they're competing against the eBay. They're competing against Wish and Alibaba and all these other fucking international ones. But in a sense, are they really a fucking monopoly? They're the biggest by how much of a percent than everybody else, you know? Is their business model the same as eBay? It's not.
Well, the biggest part about it is if you can block competition that's even a little bit different than you, you're monopolizing the system. Like Google has done.
Google's a monopoly.
It's a monopoly, and it's not because they control their business model.
Yeah.
It's because they can keep other business models from being able to expand on something that they use that they claim is a public utility, however, is considered a private entity.
Yeah.
Oh no, you can't monitor us because it's a private company. We can do what we want. However, we're gonna act like a publisher when it suits our needs. That's one example. The other example is you talk about like the net neutrality. You talk about entities like a new FCC kind of model or something like that can't be put into place. First off, who's really going to damage is the independent people. First, it's going to knock them all out, so it's going to make the situation even worse before you even take anything out of Google. You want to talk about election interference? I mean, come on.
Like, do we do that now? Like net neutrality? Like the job of the AT&Ts, the Comcast, the fucking you know who's the other all the other big providers, whatever. Their job is to provide the road.
Yes.
Not to. We have police for the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in our area, in this area, Comcast provides the highway.
Yep.
And Comcast is also asked to provide the policing.
Yes.
So we are in a situation of
where they're in trouble.
What's that company? Orcon Corp, whatever the fuck it was in RoboCop, where you have private policing. It's the same situation, right?
And private policing is just. You want to talk about tyranny? It's like, and this is why I'm against for-profit friggin' jails.
Oh yeah, that is a nonsense. I think Chicago, not Chicago, but Illinois is for-profit.
Yes.
You know how I know? The only reason I know is because the systems that we sell, Illinois Department of Correction uses.
So it's a private.
Dude, you could not sell our expensive ass fucking system to a fucking government agency unless they're fucking pork rolls. You know, like trust me, our sales team tries to sell, but I don't see too many government entities. You know, here and there.
Bernie's looking for your money. If you elect him, he'll take it from you. But right now, he's looking for it. You know, $30 a Dollar General, you can buy a statue of Bernie with his collection plate.
Little butler guy.
If you elect him, that little statue's gonna have a friggin' AK-47, and he's gonna take that shit.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
These two are terrible monsters, but mere animals. They have displayed only instinctual behavior. It's clear Godzilla means to engage the fucking anteater. A pangolin's sense of smell is keen for finding ants, now people. I believe the Panguaiwu is aware of Godzilla and means to establish dominance. We need to divert these demons away from the river into the southern mountains of Anhu, if we have any chance to save 100 million stuck in between them.
But how do we get them off the course of the river? You said Panguai's smell will lead them to food. People. And we know Godzilla rests underwater. But it gets us no closer to ending the menace. We can't hurt them. You're not suggesting nuking them, are you?
We may have no recourse. If we can lure them to the right spot in the mountains, we have a better chance to contain the fallout and evacuate the adjoining valleys.
Only if the weather patterns remain favorable, that would depopulate a huge area of the developed nation.
We may have no choice.
But we still need a way of diverting them there. And we're not even sure nukes will defeat them.
Wait, there may be a way. If we know Godzilla's intent is to battle Panguaiwu, all we have to do is lure the devil pangolin into the mountains. You said they display instinctual behavior, and Panguaiwu's smell will bring him right back to the city.
By tricking his smell to think that there's more people in the mountains?
No, by tricking him, the amount of ants there exceeds the nourishment of the people along the river.
But ants are and there isn't enough ants in China to do that.
He's right. We don't need an India of ants. We just need him to smell the curry. Behaviorally, he is still a pangolin. A fucking dickhead pangolin, but a pangolin all the same. He will follow the smell of the ants like a greasy Italian to a pot of gravy.
Marco Polo joke.
Shut up.
Okay, how do we trick his sense of smell?
With Formica, a shit ton of Formica. It will be easy enough to disperse a trail, but it will have to be dispersed on the ground, so we don't risk wind changing the creature's course. Yeah, spraying the ground is easy enough even with our time constraint, but that would take 30 times the formica as opposed to air dispersal. How do we get that much formica here? And before nightfall? We may only have a third of that amount in the whole nation, and we use the most on the planet.
Moonface Rocket Man.
Who?
That crazy Korean, you know, Moonface Rocket Man. He's developing some sort of chemical weapon and pretending the state is producing an industrial cleaner.
Holy shit. Comrade Winnie Duckbrains is right. The monkey got him by the balls right now. He will have to comply or the round eyes will learn of it. And the orangutan won't be able to keep the U.S. warmongers from getting their war.
I'll get the Rocket Man's formica.
And I will coordinate the military to begin prep and possess our formica, then alert every fire station between Wuhan and Nanjing to get their trucks to Huangsha, and see if we can divert this giant dick face around the cities into the mountains. Can you plan a dispersal route and figure a river crossing? I will have the plan within the hour.
What should I do?
I don't care. Go fuck a doorknob. Just stay out of the way.
Well, anyways, I was whatever. I think we were talking about at work actually. We were waiting for a fucking call, and you know, we were talking about Bernie and Trump and all this other nonsense, and you know, people always talk about, you know, how are you gonna pay? How are you gonna pay for all these new programs? And how are you gonna do this? And
Wow.
you know, you touch the untouchable behemoth. You know, the military. Yeah. So basically, everyone's like, we want all these cool new programs and for society and whatever. Which whatever programs are programs, but should tackle the most important problems: healthcare, education. Right? You can pay for a lot. You take the military's got what, $760 billion budget a year.
Mm-hmm.
You take $250 billion off of it, and you tell them make do with the rest. You still have a shitload of money. Make do with the rest, right? And you give that money to education and healthcare, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will pay for all that. Now, on the other token, everyone always talks about, you know, tax the rich, tax the rich. Well, don't tax the rich because whatever. They're still gonna figure out ways to do it. You shame the rich into making that $250 billion deficit. If you want a stronger military and you want that extra, right? How about all you fucks in the 1% who have enjoyed the spoils and the safety and the government of the United States to allow you to conduct your business? Because I guarantee you, if Jeff Bezos started his little Amazon company in Estonia, you think there would be an Amazon the way it is now? Run by Jeff Bezos? No. He was allowed to do that because he enjoyed the government, the economy, the safety of the United States. So you know what, fucker? How about you donate a few $1 billion a year to maintain your safety? And shame these fucks into paying it.
Sure.
You know, that way it's a win-win. Win-win for everybody.
And if there was one thing...
You don't touch the military behemoth, right? Because anybody says anything, cut the military budget, you hate soldiers.
Yeah.
Fuck you, what does that have to do with soldiers? A $20 billion fucking submarine versus the fucking private making 35 G's a fucking year. When you go to fucking war, you got GoFundMe's to buy fucking body armor because you're going fucking overseas. Where's that $760 billion going anyway? Not to the fucking soldier.
Black budget.
Not to the grunt on the fucking front line.
Pork.
So, who gives a fuck? So that way, you cut the budget and you state, listen, since all the 1%, the Waltons, the Bezos, the fucking...
Shame them. And let's look back at the turn of the 20th century, right? Look at all the infrastructure and stuff that was built by this 1%. Why?
Because they felt guilty. The Rockefellers, Carnegie.
They felt guilty, and they also felt, one does it, so then the other one has to up it.
You make it a competition between all these fucks.
Exactly. That's
Because,
what.
and I don't see it as taxing the rich. I see it as you have enjoyed the people, the economy, the infrastructure of this country
Mm-hmm.
to the point where you can make $10 billion a year.
Sure.
America provides you that opportunity. So contribute back.
Contribute back. And if you put it in a way where they can try to one up each other, you're going to get the Rockefeller Foundation. Okay? You're going to get these things. You're going to get, in some ways, these are going to seem hypocritical to the other shit that they do. You're not going to turn a Soros, but you may expose him for what he really is by doing it.
Yeah. So when everybody else in the clique, in the the top 1% crew is donating,
And trying to one up each other.
like the Waltons abuse fucking healthcare, pay their employees shit, fucking bust up. Anytime you try to make a union in a Walmart, they bust it up.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff, right? That's the same shit that fucking Rockefeller. Listen, those guys were not saints.
No, not
They
at all.
fucking treated their employees like garbage.
No, what was that guy? What was that guy? The Carnegie guy, the guy that they had a huge friggin' riot out in Fisk. Fisk.
They fucking shot their fucking boss.
We're gonna Oh, you know what we should do? We should start doing the historical retroactive douchebag award. Valentine was made back then. Valentine was made. In fact, Valentine was a lot more popular back then. So
this classic Valentine goes to Fisk.
This classic Valentine goes to Fisk. This week we didn't give out a Valentine award this week. We didn't give out a douchebag award this week. And I really didn't do memes of the week. I'm gonna put a little something together to throw at the end of this broadcast. But yeah, that's funny. That's Fisk.
Yeah, but think about it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with fucking shaming them?
It worked at the turn of the last century.
Right?
And they're like, oh, you won't have streets without socialism.
Listen, do we need fucking and that another submarine, another 3 submarines? I think right now at this moment there's 2 being built in Norfolk, Virginia.
Well, yeah. Well, with the submarines, it's one thing because
we got about like 20 of them out there already.
Exactly, but we're actually missile defense. We're a little behind, and we have the technology to put out the next submarines, but our adversaries have China has put them out. So like we have to do that to keep up.
Well, we got the Chinese under control.
Oh yeah. You know what?
Fucking dry run. Fuck that.
Speaking of coronavirus,
tinfoil hats on, motherfuckers.
My daughter's all in the tinfoil hats now, but she uses aluminum foil. And me being the douche I am, I'm like, honey, aluminum foil is different than tinfoil. Aluminum foil actually will amplify the signal. Yeah, but if you just put straight aluminum foil on your head, you're going to actually amplify your ability to take in
the lining of potato chip bags.
That's it is, but it's aluminum with a backing. So it's what it is basically it's like a fucking wire.
Because that was a dirty trick I taught to some of the drivers that when they put GPS on their vehicles to track them, I'm like, just take your paper chip bag and cover the fucking antenna. They'll block the signal. And it worked.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's basically you the aluminum itself is conductive, but it's grounded. It's not grounded. It's insulated.
Yeah.
It's like woo.
Fucking nonsense. Everything's fucking nonsense.
Everything is nonsense.
That's why nobody ever wants to talk about the gorillas in the room. Everyone skirts around the issues, which is why all these fucking booty gigs, this fucking thing we were talking about before, it's all a distraction from reality because that's not the reality anymore. It's a distraction.
It's a dick in a box. Night falls. Panguaiwu awakes. He's changed. Panguaiwu is now an adult. He's even more vicious. He gets tactically nuked and fucking survives.
Dude, you know how many coronavirus signs I saw in the hospital today? Like all over the place. And it's funny because they're written in English and Chinese.
Well, makes sense.
It's funny. You see that meme that got posted around? It's like normal people when there's a viral outbreak. Everyone's like huddled in their houses, right? Chinese people. I'm going on a tour of the world. Like, what the fuck? You know, my company has banned international travel.
That makes kind of makes sense.
We have a fucking my crew has a new major international client. We were supposed to go visit them fucking in 2 months, and nope, nixed. Nope, sorry. Client's like, what do you mean you can't come? Sorry.
Not gonna happen.
All right. So what's your favorite gun again?
My favorite gun? My go-to weapon?
Mm-hmm.
They say your go-to weapon is the one that's always nearest, that's closest to you, right? Which fucking, the pistol's gonna be hidden in the fucking bedroom. The fucking other ones are always, legally locked up. Except for the one that's fucking dusty as fuck, looks like a fucking historical fucking piece of shit from World War II that hangs on the wall of my office with a fucking bayonet attached to it. Not just any bayonet, but one of those fucking nasty ones with a screwdriver at one end as a tool, but it fucking splits into fucking like 3, so when it makes a puncture wound, it makes that much more difficult to fucking...
H is serious.
That much more difficult to fucking stitch up, if not impossible. And listen, if I miss you with those fucking 2 rounds that I fucking slap in there in time I need to pull off the fucking wall and grab the bullets out, if I miss with those 2 fucking shots, I hope I don't, because if they're gonna go through something, they're gonna hit through my walls, through my neighbor's walls, and hit my neighbor's dog probably, right? So I hope I don't miss. But if that fails, fuck you. Give you a bayonet at the fucking death. I don't give a fuck what the hell you got, because I don't know. People are always like, oh well, what if the person's got a gun? Listen, if they come in with a fucking pistol, I got a fucking bigger gun. And if that don't scare the shit out of them, the fact of the matter is some fucking crazy asshole has a fucking rifle with a bayonet attached to it. Yeah, I mean, they might think twice.
On that note, here's H's favorite video.
Hell yes, we're gonna take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Welcome to the rice fields, mother.
Drop it. Yeah.
You will never get this. You will never get this. La 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 la.